Welcome back to Iron Rage. I'm Dave Palumbo, and I'm joined, as always, by John Romano. And today we are going to be raging about a topic that is very dear to our bodybuilding hearts. That is called bodybuilding profiling. Yep, we've heard of racial profiling. We've heard of terrorist profiling in the airports. In the Scandinavian countries, it has come to our attention. Rick Collins posted a huge article about how they are profiling bodybuilders, people who work out, people who look muscular, and they are taking them down to the police stations. They're arresting them. They're drug testing them. If you fail the drug test, you could be fined. You could be put in jail. I mean, it's so terrible there that guys don't want to walk around in tank tops. And I know we did a story a few years back. John and I will talk about this, about Tony Freeman getting arrested there, but this has gotten to the point where it's absurd. John, I'm going to read a letter before I get you on from a bodybuilder that emailed me, and I think this will really hit home and tell you how lucky we are to have our freedoms in this country. Thanks for bringing up the problem, Dave, in Scandinavia with bodybuilders. I got several tickets already because of this at $1,000 each ticket, and nearly got 4 months in prison, but they luckily gave me community service. This is outrageous. The police are bullying bodybuilders here, and this has brought a huge, I guess he says, depreciation of the bodybuilders here. I don't even want to compete anymore. I love the sport, but this is discrimination. They have even taken my driver's license away from me because of this. Serious. Just because of steroids. I have lost my passion to do bodybuilding. I loved being big and competing, but I can't show myself outside. I can't wear a tank top or a t-shirt in the summer. This is truly a witch hunt. John Romano, you don't like witch hunts. What is your opinion on this whole situation?
I mean, it's ridiculous that, they profile to the degree that they would actually, arrest you. And, Rick Collins coined this phrase many, many years ago. The guy's guilty of bodybuilding in the first degree. And that's really the truth. I mean, if you think about, especially now, all these liberals whining about a Trump being president and wanting to leave the country, take it from someone who left the country. Once you leave America, you realize the amount of freedom that you have here, and the rights that the Constitution allows us, and that the laws that were written to uphold the Constitution protect us, and they prevent the police from infringing on our privacies and violating our rights to that degree. Where that's why we have the TSA. You'll be in a line behind the 80-year-old woman who's got to take her walker apart to make sure that none of the metal bars have bombs in them. It's supposed to be random. They're not profiling the terrorists. They can't. So as much as they want to, or as much as they may covertly do it, publicly and officially they cannot.
Stopped George Farah at the airport when I was with him. He thought it was because he was Italian looking. I said, no, it's because you look like a terrorist.
Italian. What did the Italians do?
He says he's half Italian, he claims.
What?
Yeah, he says his mother's... He's pretty much every religion and every nationality. I don't know if you knew that. But he said his mother's Italian, yeah. That's what he claims.
The problem with Farah is that you can very easily tell when he's lying. His lips are moving.
Well, getting back to the topic at hand, I mean, Tony Freeman, I believe it was like 3 years ago, got arrested at making an appearance at a nutrition store or something like that. They had advertised that he was going to be there. The police showed up. They arrested him. They took him down to the station. They drug tested him, and he even said, he goes, look, I'm on hormone replacement. I'm going to come up positive. He goes, I also smoked a joint, when I was in Amsterdam, 2 days ago. So that's going to come up too. They're like, oh, we don't care about the marijuana. We don't care about the steroids. John, this kind of profiling where they're actually singling out people who look different is dangerous to society, because the next thing they can profile is if you got a big nose, or if you have dark skin or light skin, or, I mean, when you allow society to pick people out based on how they look, doesn't that send a huge message to the society that we have no rights anymore?
Dave. You've been poisoned by the freedom America allows you. That's not, you know, our Constitution does not extend beyond our borders. We are afforded these rights in America, these rights to our privacy and our pursuit of happiness. You know, I'll just give you an example. In America, doing drugs is not illegal. Possessing them, trafficking them, buying them, selling them, that's illegal. Once they're in your home and you can ease heroin into your veins all night long, you're not breaking any laws. You're not breaking a single law. It's not illegal to actually consume drugs because you're pursuing your happiness. You have a right to do that in the privacy of your own home. So, you know, the idea, though, that you can leave your home and the effect of, you know, it's like a cop can pull you over if you're driving in your car and you're weaving and it looks like you may be drunk. It's a public safety issue. So, yes, he can pull you over for that because he may suspect you are impaired. Okay, but to leave your home because you have a 50-inch chest and you get pulled over by the cops or stopped by the cops, arrested, forced to give a sample of your own bodily fluid, that's another violation of a right there. Forced to give a sample, you know, for the purpose of profiling you, for their specific belief, that their assumption that you're taking a banned, prohibited substance is ludicrous. But that's what happens when you don't have a constitution and a Bill of Rights to protect you. So, you know, in these countries that don't have that, there's nothing these people can do. And that email that you just read is a sad, sad commentary on the modern world in Europe, that this guy who has to curtail his pursuit of happiness to be a bodybuilder because he's being profiled and singled out and arrested, fined, imprisoned, or given community service for pursuing something that he loves to do. He's not hurting anybody. He's not cheating anybody.
Where does the license thing come from? Why would you take someone's license away from you? That to me is the stupidest thing.
Because a license is a right. I'm sorry, a license is not a right. It's a privilege. At least in America, it is. So, you know, in other words, if you get pulled over by the cops in America and they ask you to do a breathalyzer test, you can refuse.
Right.
But the penalty for refusing is you lose your license.
Right. But what is taking anabolic steroids and being muscular have to do with having a driver's license?
It's a privilege. They take your privilege.
You're not endangering anyone's lives on the road. Maybe Jimmy the Bull might when he's on steroids.
Yeah, they're afraid of roid rage.
Yeah.
Look, that's the degree. That is the degree of misinformation and false news that gets put out there, that, you know, steroids cause roid rage and you got to get everybody steroid user off the road because they're going to, you know, kill somebody. That's just lunacy. And unfortunately for the people who live in Sweden, that's a reality that you have to deal with. And as a bodybuilder, Dave, could you imagine, you know, just being ripped and lean and, you know, a little bit bigger than the next guy? You got to be afraid to leave the house. You got to wear long sleeves in the summertime. You got to appear to be fat when you're not. I mean, that's really what you got to do. You got to hide. You have to hide in plain sight.
Is this part of your whole theory of the pussification of the world? Basically, that now they're offended if you have veins in your arms or if you have a 20-inch arm. It's offensive to people. They have to get these people out of society and lock them away.
It's offensive because you're scaring them. You're scaring them because you're stronger and more powerful than them, and they're, you know, weak and metrosexual. So they have to, you know, they have to be protected, and they need safe zones and coloring books and Play-Doh and, you know, stress therapy and you know, therapy dog, you know, stress management puppies to play with so that they can, manage their fear. Our former home state, Dave, Mayor de Blasio has made the entire city not only a sanctuary city, but he has also committed taxpayer money for services to government employees, the state of New York, who are stressed out over Trump being president.
Oh my God.
And he's offering treatment centers and stress therapy, I'm serious about the dogs. They bring puppies in to let the people, you know, and they are completely caving into this this pussification attitude, and that's worldwide now. Now you've got in the greatest city in the world, New York City. Could you ever believe in New York City that a city known for its toughness and its the kind of people that you don't mess with? Could you ever imagine New Yorkers having to go to freaking stress therapy because their candidate didn't get elected? Seriously? And that the taxpayers have to pay for that?
Blackman might be going to stress therapy because when muscular development goes out of business, he might be having to join the ranks of the stressed out New Yorkers. Well,
now that was going to be my prediction on Iron Debate yesterday, but I didn't get another turn. My prediction for 2017 is that muscular development is going to go out of business.
Speaking of arresting people for being too muscular, what do you think they would have done to the guy in Greece who smacked the judge if he was living in Scandinavia and that happened?
Well, you got to execute. What else left? I mean, they banned him for life. I mean, execute him. He's a loose cannon. He's just smacking people. I mean, you can't have that.
Throw rocks at him in Times Square, right? In the city square.
Could you imagine that he would smack somebody on the street? Travesty. Execute. You have to kill him. There's no two ways about it.
Well, we joke about this topic, but the true reality of the situation is that it's very real, and it's happening in these Scandinavian countries of Denmark and Sweden and Norway, and they can pull you off the street, they can test you. If you fail the test, they can take your driver's license, they can fine you $1,000 per incident, and they can put you in jail. And that's a despicable. I guess you could say
deplorable.
It's deplorable, but it's a removal of people's basic rights to do what they want.
Right.
As long as you're not hurting people, and to me, inalienable rights. That's the word I was looking for.
Inalienable rights.
And it hurts me and it irks me because I know my iron brothers and sisters over there just want to pursue their passion, what they love to do, to compete, whether it be on a sporting level or on a recreational level. And we all should have that ability. And we should all take a look at what's going on in the world and realize that we do have great freedoms here in the U.S. and other countries of the world. And, hopefully, maybe we can influence some of the policies over there. If not, guys, move. Come to the United States. Get the fuck out of there get out of Dodge, as they say, because if you don't, you're not going to be able to pursue your dreams, and you cannot be put into a hamster cage and be told that you can't do what you love, because if you do that, you die inside. So get out. That's my suggestion.
The odd thing is, Dave, is that where would they go? And the funny thing is, they're better off in a third world country.
Yeah, go to Kuwait.
What's that?
Gym. Go to Oxygen Gym. Beta Badai will take them in.
Well, that's not a third world country though.
No.
But I mean, I'm talking about Mexico. I mean, yeah, they could go to Oxygen Gym. They could go to Kuwait. That's a good. But in Kuwait, you have to be really careful in those Arab countries, because they have a sort of duality with Sharia law and what they allow foreigners to do, and it's very easy for you to offend them and get caught up in some violation of their laws. However, in a country like Mexico or all throughout Central and South America, those countries are vanity driven. You have not a care in the world. You can do all the steroids you want in Mexico, and no one is going to bother you. Nobody's going to bother you. The food is good. It's cheap. It's clean. It's abundantly available. The weather's great. Plenty of great gyms, great places to stay, cheap economy, easy to live there. You can make your money online and earn dollars and spend pesos. You have bodybuilder paradise at your fingertips.
Speaking of which, I hear that Anthony Huge from EnhancedMuscle.com is coming down to visit you.
Yes, Dr. Huge is coming. with Coach Trevor.
We love those guys. So
awesome.
You'll have to do some videos down there, because I'm sure in Mexico all goes down there. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of injections being done on camera.
Do you know that Dr. Hughes used to be a lawyer in California?
I know. I think he still is a lawyer, technically.
I mean, well, he still is, but I mean, he was a lawyer in California. His parents retired to Puerto Vallarta.
Oh, they did? That's weird.
Yes, that's why he's always there. He's visiting his parents.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah. All right, well, you got to take him to some fun places. And
I can't wait. Guadalajara is a great city. He'll love it. I'm going to take him.
Those guys will do anything. You know that, right?
Yeah. I think there's a relationship in the future with Romano and those guys.
Well, you got to do some video for RX. You better get your video camera out and take some video for us. Don't let him take all the video because he puts it up on his side. We got to get some RX video down there as well.
I got an actual videographer, a really good one. He did Valerie's little video. Yeah. He's really good. He has one of those cameras that you go like this. It's like on a gyroscope. It doesn't move. Yeah. And he follows you around and everything. He's like, he completes a whole entire like 30-minute music video, edits it and everything for like $150.
All right, well, sign him up. Get some video for us down there.
I will. I'll get it
for
sure.
Well, guys, take-home messages. Don't take for granted the rights we have in this country to be free. I know everyone likes to complain about this country, but I always tell people when I leave this country and I go and I try to eat in another country, I realize we have the best food, we have the best freedoms, we have the best opportunities here, we have the best jobs, we have the best lives here. Don't take it for granted. Don't complain. Go someplace else and you'll see you don't have it so great. Go look at Scandinavia if you want to be a bodybuilder and realize how great it is here. Don't complain about the fact that steroids are illegal here. Get a prescription or do it any other way you want. Just don't get caught. The bottom line is that we have a lot of freedoms here we take for granted, and that's the take-home message today. Hopefully you're enjoying all these Iron Rages. John and I will be raging again next week before Christmas. Stay tuned. I'm Dave Palumbo with John Romano. See you next time.